Welcome, everybody, to the Echo Arena VR Master League Season 6, Week 3. My name is NightFiree with two E's. I will be your sole conductor in today's adventure into another Master Tier matchup. Milo versus Ethereal. I've been informed on pronunciation since my recent blunder in pronouncing it Milo, but should be an exciting matchup here. Master Ranked 4, Master Ranked 8. In the NA, obviously, and so with these two lineups, anticipating again a good battle. Swag War, Chrome, The Law, and Mozzie making up the Milo side of things, and C. Jason, Single Shot, Nah, and JDG is here, making up the Ethereal side of wow, that's a tongue twister. Ethereal side of things. So that 10 times fast. And so again, the usual suspects, anticipating a good battle here. No match history between these two teams. Obviously, a challenge with Milo being technically new in Season 6, although obviously filled with players that are not new to this scene. Very familiar faces that have been at this tier and in this division for quite some time. And so we can anticipate a very good, solid matchup. But I do imagine if there are some question marks around the Milo team and what they're sort of capable of. I think this is the first time. Oh no, they did get caught on stream in their second game in Season 6 with against Avant, where they ended up losing. And actually, looking back at the scoreline, it's their only loss that they have suffered. They beat Redshift and they beat Anomaly. So again, the question marks, and that's what we're tuned in here for, to get the answers to those question marks. Who is going to be the victor here this afternoon? We should be giving the teams the go-ahead any moment, and we will be getting into round one soon enough. Shout out to you fine folk that are tuning in here. Do appreciate you stopping by. A couple of people that have been hanging around since our last matchup with Redshift and Overkill. A good solid series there. If you did make predictions, we did end up getting points to you if you ended up predicting Overkill is going to be the winner. We will have predictions again here, so do make sure you're getting those channel points out there. Those channel points can end up getting you, your team, cast onto these Twitch channels right here. In the very case in point, our next matchup, which is Rewind versus Heatwave. Heatwave requested their match to be casted, and so that is being redeemed in about 30 minutes time. But those points can get you something, okay? There's a finite value. So gamble your heart out or save and invest, your time in watching Echo Arena. Frankly, that's the safer way to do it, okay? Just watch a lot of Echo Arena VRML. It's the safe bet. It's going to get you points. Just by being in here, you get points, okay? If you want to risk your hard-earned dollars, then go by all means. Wager them away on who not dollars, you know what I mean. Wager away on who is going to be the champion here this afternoon. I am curious what the holdup is, though, right now. Not sure why they haven't started. Oh, I just had to complain. That's all it takes. You just got to throw it out into the universe. And to get back what you asked for. 10 seconds till we get into round one and find out which team is coming out on top. Ethereal on the left, Milo on the right. Ethereal in orange, Milo in blue. And out the gate, Milo is going to scoop that up. Mozzie managing to grab hands onto that disc out the joust. And look at the quick defense. Flies back here to rebolster and completely pad that goal with all four defenders for Ethereal. A great job denying that backboard shot and ultimately clear it all the way down to Milo's zone. Milo looking for the pass sequence up through the tunnel. They do get it with the Law and Chrome there to try and work something up, but they get interrupted, and stunned. Single shot, full clears it down back into Milo's tunnel. And there comes the trio. The offensive tack is here for Ethereal. They managed to get inside the bubble. The stun work's not quite there, and the ding onto the corner doesn't quite go into the corner like they were hoping for. A nice clear that floats into the midfield is going to end up with Milo Oh, their hands on the disc for a second, as Chrome does ultimately scoop it up, avoiding the likes of JDG is here. Good defense there from Single Shot, threatening and ultimately forcing that intercept. Nah ends up scooping it up, tries to go for the mail slot shot for a 3 to kick things off for Ethereal, but can't quite put it in. Ethereal, however, does manage to keep possession of disc, and they may be able to set up an offensive push here. Nice pass to the top, and oh no, a double dig! I don't think I've ever seen that before. Hits both sides of the goal and doesn't go in. Can't get closer than that. Single Shot ends up still finding that rebound. Passes it back to JDG. And for now, after a chaotic minute and a half, we have some control. A big steal from the Law disrupts what was going to be an offensive push for Ethereal and a full clear down range. Where is the stacks? Who's first? That's the big question. It's going to be C. Jason. Bit of a pause here in the momentum as they try and vie for possession. Milo doesn't get things set up on offense like they were hoping. And again, another attempted shot that goes just a bit too high, but still ends up with a nice clear down into Milo's zone, and Ethereal with an opportunity to push and set something up on offense. All four inside the zone, all four ready for passes, all four ready to push as they dive in. The stuns there, and the pass goes just a touch wide. Single Shot not able to scoop it up, and the Law finds the rebound and clears it back to Ethereal's zone. JDG does scoop it up, and off of a great bit of stack work between them and Nah, track the disc up into that trap corner and find themselves 3 minutes of scoreless action until finally something comes alive for Ethereal, and we go into a timeout. Do wonder what that timeout could lead us to, but we wait patiently. Maybe a ping issue, maybe just a water break, maybe a strategery break to try and prepare and focus for this next offensive joust that Milo are going to have to put out. Maybe a technical pause. Who knows? I didn't see a drop or anyone inactive on the Milo side during that initial 3 minutes, so I don't think it was anything like that. Moment to give myself a little break here as well from what is some very quick-paced action, but scoreless nonetheless. Was scoreless. I see this could possibly be an IRL timeout. Pulled away for a variety of reasons. But nonetheless, it is a timeout used. And so in the event that there is any more technical hiccups or any potential disconnects for the side of Milo, who I presume took the timeout, they're not going to be able to pause. They're going to have to play through like we did see with Overkill and Redshift, although Overkill did manage to weather that storm when they did have the disconnect. So it's all a matter of if you can play 3v4, but we're not there yet. It's not an issue yet. I don't know if we'll use this full timeout, so if that is the case, I don't intend to be talking to you for 10 more minutes. And in which case, we may just sit here and wait for the action to resume. And yeah, I think it's a ping thing. So just going to wait, let the mods do what they do. And hopefully we can get underway with the action. See Wonder trying to get me to do ad reads, which are certainly something we can do while we buy the time. A variety of sponsors help promote and sponsor VRML, they contribute into our prize pool. That prize pool is ever growing as we always look to add more sponsors to the VRML team. If maybe you're interested in becoming a sponsor, feel free to reach out. But our current sponsors for Echo Arena include VR Cover, providing you fantastic high-quality hygiene and comfort solutions for all the popular headsets, truly all of them. No issues finding any cover there. And again, those covers greatly enhance comfort to allow for longer playtime. So when you need to practice for multiple hours, it definitely helps. HyperX obviously supporting with the Quadcast S that lets you hear the baritone in my voice. It is a high-quality product that I confidently can advertise. I will say, if you are considering buying anything HyperX related, just wait. We are going to be presenting a 20% discount code to anyone in the U.S. for any HyperX product that is not on sale or on discount. So, yeah, you're going to want to wait to pick up any peripherals from HyperX until we get there. In addition, there is going to be some quite a lot of HyperX giveaways coming down the pipeline. So you're going to want to be tuning in to the social medias, the regular streams, the weekend venue showcases. Trust me, it's going to benefit you now to be plugged in, because once word gets out, more people are going to be coming in here for these giveaways. You're not going to have the limited pool. And I say limited, but, you know, the limited pool that it could potentially be when things kick off. So follow now so you'll be alerted when those giveaways happen. Additionally, Asterion coming in, sponsoring this league. High quality mounts and a variety of other products that really allow you to sort of display your gear in style. VRware with merch, all kinds of products that are VRML branded, as well as Arma with higher quality jerseys and VRML as well, contributing into the prize pool. Enough time has been bought. I talked through all of it, and we made it here to round one and the offensive joust of Milo. And so far, it was looking good, but a nice bit of defensive work there, and an intercept from JDG sets up Ethereal for potentially a multi-goal win. Is a good 1, 2, 3. What a great sequence there. Opens up the goal and blinked and you would have missed it, but that was a great pass sequence. And as if I predicted the future and the worst case scenario has come true, a drop has happened. A timeout burned, and they cannot time out now. They have to play through the 3v4. So an advantage to Ethereal as they have a 2-goal lead. Maybe they can increase that even further as the reconnect does come in. Will they get out of tunnel and be able to help on the defense? Doesn't look like they're actually even needed, as the trio does a good enough job of fending off Ethereal from pushing in. They have dispossession, and now everyone is here to work forward. Good pass there up to the top. Whoosh tries to fire it in to it looked like Chrome or Swagboard behind the goalie there and couldn't get it in time. A nice dive and intercept. Full clear here, and while there's 3 to defend, the backboard shot goes just a hair low. Dings off the bottom corner. Pass to the law down the tunnel and a full clear. Ends up with disc and an open 3 for Whoosh. They had Swag there to potentially guide it in the case that Whoosh did miss that open 3. It was a fadeaway shot, not an easy angle to truly make it in. But they find the 3 and they're right back in this. Only a 2-point lead now for Ethereal. Good midfield work here. And a nice pass sequence to Jason. The 360 and the over-the-head shot from Single Shot. You love to see the fancy work getting the job done. Avoiding the stun, avoiding the intercept, getting the pass off, getting an accurate pass off of the 360. A really nice sequence there from the two of them. Ethereal pushed their lead back up, albeit it was just 2 points. So a 4-point lead, but still 2 goals. Milo trying to string something together here as they do get a successful offensive rollout. Can they push through the defensive wall that Ethereal had presented, though? That's the question. That shot goes just a touch wide, a tough angle to be making it from. Ends up with a full clear as well. Worst possible scenario there. You miss the shot, the defense grabs it and fully clears and is ready to attack. Thankfully enough, Milo are savvy and bounce back in time to defend and full clear their way all the way down back into Ethereal zone. And we bounce back and forth here across the arena without either team being able to set up for the attack. Again, another clear. This actually goes into the hands of Na, though, and Na does some nice footwork, or shall I say handwork, as they dodge and fire in that shot for 2. Now it's a 3-goal lead. No, 2 goals still. 2 threes, however. And the clock is ticking. 3 minutes left for Milo to put something together here and try and bounce back. They've only scored that 3 that they got in under fortunate circumstances. Will they be able to, again, work through a prepared and ready Ethereal is the question they haven't answered yet. They haven't gotten through the defense yet. And, oh, no, worst case, intercepted, open 3, goes wide, followed up. Was that headered? Or did it just go in? No, it just went in off the backboard. Wow. Not necessarily the nail in the coffin. 2.5 left for Milo to do something. But the lead starts to get a little bit dangerous. 9 points now. And, ooh, nice stun work from Swagwar. They'll be sitting there trying to disrupt that stack from pushing forward and being a threat to the trio that now works their way up to the goal. 2v3 opportunity for some good passing sequences, and that was perfect. The Law draws out one of 2 defenders. The third remaining pushes in to stun out the goalie, and the disc holder simply walks it in. Very nice job there from the 3 of them to find that goal, and that's what it takes to get through this wall that Ethereal have put up. They disrupt the stack in the back and then get that advantage. Again, perfectly executed. But is it too late? As a 1.5 minutes is left on this clock for round 1. Oh, an attempted clear there. Swagwar scoops it up. Law with a nice pass and an open 3 that dings off the corner. Quickly rebounded and passed back up with a nice cross pass to the center from Wush to the Law. And another 2 points. A 5-goal lead with a minute left. 5-point lead, excuse me, not goal. 5-point lead with a minute left. It's only 2 goals. Definitely something that, if Milo can get fortunate here and intercept this offensive joust, they can threaten. And you can see they're getting aggressive out the gate here, trying to get these intercepts. The stack and that push does have risks, obviously, in that you can get stunned out, be trapped in the backfield, not able to push up and properly defend. And almost a bit of an unnecessarily rushed slap there. The clear ends up going into Na's hands. See Jason scoops it up, passes it down to Na, who's on the bottom, upside down, looking to juke out Swag, who ends up diving in, stunning out, and scooping up the disc. 15 seconds left, so not enough time to come back from this one, and we're at least going to see a nice shot attempt and a good save from C. Jason to finish up this series, or no, excuse me, this round. We're only into the first round. Oh no, and maybe insult to injury, an open 3 gets sunk in. 15-7 for round 1. Ethereal with a nice, solid performance there. And really, what netted them this round 1 win was the commanding defensive performance they had in the first 5 minutes to 6 minutes of this round. Really doing a nice job of preventing Ethereal from really getting anything set up. Very aggressive defense inside the zone, and ultimately with good passing, obviously what you would expect out of a team like this. They do find themselves with an early lead. They then maintain that lead, much like we saw in Overkill versus Redshift. Once that lead's secured, that's when it can be the hardest, obviously, to come back from. All you have to do is battle back point for point against your opponent, and you will eventually secure that W after 10 minutes. So good job for Ethereal, you know, again, to maintain that lead. Not an easy task, and we see them do that for really the full course of the series since they opened up with that 3. Ultimately, though, really good battle back from Milo, especially in the back half. When we did see them starting to score some points, they did get past that defensive wall with a lot of good passing sequences and good teamwork. And so we'll have to see if they can put that together here into round 2. See if they can bounce back and push us into a round 3 decider, or if Ethereal are just going to scoop this one up here and be done in 10 minutes time. We'll see as we get into our joust, and out the gate it's going to go into the hands of Milo confidently. Swag War is there to scoop it up. The whole offense, should I say defense, of Ethereal waiting for this push, and I wonder if that will end up impacting them negatively, as Chrome was there to potentially put it into the goal, but ends up redirecting the entire defense, draws everybody out with a bit of an odd floor crawl that didn't seem to be anticipated by Ethereal, and then instantly turns around, fires it back up to the top of the zone, and finds themselves with a much more open goal there, a much more scoreable goal. A really nice job there from Milo, and a 2-0 lead, their first time leading in this series, if I'm correct. I don't think they scored the first point of last round. Anyway, we go into what could be the first point for Ethereal, as that shot on goal goes a touch high. Still, though, the rest of the team is here and ready to attack, and although they did have an open goal for the 2 with the dive from the defender, they end up not hitting that shot. It floats a touch wide. Still, they maintain possession. And now trying to draw this defensive out, trying to look for an open pass. The stun there, trying to come through, but there's too many defenders in between the shot and the goalie, and it gets scooped up, intercepted, and now cleared down into Ethereal zone. Milo maybe getting an opportunity to put a couple more points on the board. Not an open 3, as Jason is there ready and waiting, and so it's going to have to be good pass work from Milo to get through this aggressive Ethereal defense, as we do see it there. There's a missed pass that goes just a touch high, ends up floating, however, into the Law's hands, and maybe a bit of a rushed passing sequence here. They do maintain possession. They are avoiding this defense from pushing in on them. That was a nice little back and forth there to keep possession, but there's a big steal from JDG, who gets the stun, clears it down the tunnel, completely disrupts any sort of offensive pressure Milo were setting up. And another big steal as they continue to fight for dispossession inside the trap. A nice pass to the back there, and Single's going to be able to thread that one in for 2. It took them almost 2 minutes, a minute and a half's time, but they did manage to finally put some points on the board. A lower scoring first half here than what you saw in round 1, but maybe a bit more focused Milo squad that we're seeing here this afternoon, as they're putting on some good defensive moves and doing their best to work through what is a good solid defense from Ethereal. Not able to get that offensive joust up through the midfield, though, and this is going to be an open 3. The defense is almost there. You can see, looked like Swag War flying into the goal. They couldn't anchor themselves in time to grab that disc, but a nice effort and a nice 3. That puts up Ethereal 3 points. First time in the lead in round 2, but if they can maintain this now, they take the series. So certainly quite a lot to be fought for here by the likes of Milo. Nice slap away there, but still inside the zone of Ethereal. And what would have been a shot on an open goal is instead intercepted on the back side of that throw from Single Shot. A great scoop up there. Keeps the disc into the possession, or away from Milo, and ultimately it does end up back into Milo's hands. The shot on the goal there does go in, as you see the duo trying to get back in time, trying to intercept, slap it away, to redirect, headbutt even that disc, but it almost floats in between them as it goes in for the goal. A great and risky 3 that ties things back up. Milo not going out without a fight. Oh, and a nice self-pass there, but the defense comes flying in time. JDG in the stack make it into the goal just in time to scoop that up and push it back into Milo's zone. Now see Jason looking for something as they pass it over to JDG, who now finds themselves in a 1v1 opportunity, and they're going to take it. They find that open shot to the top of the goal. 2-point lead for Ethereal as we get into, or close to, the back half of round number 2. An exciting first 5 minutes here, much more of what we had in round 1, truly, but just without that insurmountable lead that Ethereal managed to net early on in the round. Instead, now Milo have a chance, and you can see they're very much fighting for it as they do back clear there. Maybe an open 3 chance for a moment, but better safe than sorry, as they say. And a good 1-2 pass there is going to open up the whoosh Chrome connection. 2 points, dunked in, answered back. It's all they needed to tie this back up, as we now are into our back 5 minutes of round 2, and maybe they can regain that lead. They're going to obviously have to intercept this offensive joust here, disrupt the Ethereal momentum that they do have going for them off of a round 1 win, but well, that's going to take some good stun work, and Chrome is there to disrupt. The Law is here to scoop it up and fire it in. Swag War and the loss. The stack comes flying in time. And a couple of open 3s getting sunk in here in round 2. Not exactly what we saw in round 1. It was a bit tighter of a defense around the bubble, but really solid work here from Milo. They've got themselves a nice 3-point lead. Obviously, Ethereal looking to bounce back from this as they do manage to get good passing sequences to get through the midfield, and a great cross. Fantastic 1-2 there to single shot. One of the harder plays to deny if executed properly, and that was executed properly. Really nicely done there. 1-point lead now for Milo, and so again, not exactly a comfortable spot. Opening up here with their offensive rollout, gets it over to the tunnel, and they do manage to push forward a bit here. A nice offensive push opportunity, so it seems. Can the defense weather the storm? Oh, a missed pass there. Does get scooped up. The Law maintains possession, tries to fire it off the backboard for a 2 and can't quite make it. Dives out, leeches off the stack. Jason is there as well. The stun, no, doesn't come in from Chrome. The clear instead comes in, and the disc doesn't go into the possession of Ethereal. Milo maintained possession and continued to tick this clock down. As they look for even more points, they obviously want to push this farther than just a 1-point lead, and are doing their best to try and work into Ethereal's zone. Nice passing sequence here to the bottom of the bubble, looking for the attack, trying to get through, and they do find their way through a ready and waiting defense inside the zone, maybe anticipating a pass that never comes. The lead now 3 points. 2.5 left, though. A lot of time on the clock for either of these teams to put some more on the board, and so 3 points, not someplace to sit comfortably with. Good offensive rollout, though. Really nice offensive rollout here. 4v3 in the dive from Swag War. Disrupting the play before it comes to fruition. Big intercept, huge intercept now as we go into the final 2 minutes. Could be pushing this to a round 3 decider. I was going to say currently 3 points separating us from that reality, but now it's 5. Five points for Ethereal if they want to tie this back up and try and lock in the series. They did well on round 1, but again, because they managed to get a good early start, we now see here when the start goes into the way of Milo that they've managed to put up a nice lead. I say that knowing that 5 points can be chipped away in a matter of seconds. And that was a great 1-2 from single shot. JDG with a nice setup. Minute left on the clock for a 3 or 2 twos. Certainly viable for Ethereal if they want to try and lock this thing up here in round 2. Obviously, Milo looking to stall out, buy time. A big intercept off the offensive joust. A full clear comes in, and they overshoot the disc. They miss again on a panic shot, and the defense gets back in time. A backboard shot goes wide. That could have potentially gone in for 3. Still, they maintain possession. They try and go for more. Another backboard shot. At this point, they have to make a 3. They can't afford a 2, and they do. JDG, how do they find it? The 3 comes in. We are going... Well, there's like 3 seconds of gameplay here. We're likely going to overtime. Unless something drastic happens here. And we don't see the overzealous rollout. Ethereal play it safe to guarantee pushing this to overtime. It's where we're headed. It's what's on the menu. I hope everyone is ready for seconds. Because here we go. The winner of this takes the round. If Ethereal take it, they've got the series. Milo's chances on the line. A duo dive there, and offense is back. A great 1-2 from the line, Chrome. And Milo find it on the opening. The defensive stack doesn't get there in time. And we're headed to a round number 3 decider. It's a good thing I informed the other teams that were trying to cast here this afternoon that they may have to wait because, well, that's exactly what's happening here. Another 10 minutes of action are left in front of us as we are going to go to that round 3. A very nice pickup from Milo, and we see a reverse, truly, of what we saw in round 1. An early lead maintained and secured by Milo, albeit a good battle back and forth. Ultimately, a fantastic comeback by Ethereal in the final minute to secure those points, lock in that 3 big plays, but can't quite capitalize on the OT. And we go to round 3, where really it's anyone's guess at this stage. 15-7, 14-16, both teams loose, both teams warmed up, both teams displaying very solid pass work. Exactly what you would expect out of a master tier series. And I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better battle than what we're getting here. Round 3 kicking off, no breaks between. Let's see who wins this this neutral joust and how this rolls out as we do dive into the action. Much like the previous rounds, a bit of a passive rollout from Ethereal, not necessarily risking the opportunity to dive in, instead trying to set up for defense. That doesn't quite work out for them as Milo kick things off upside down. They connect with the pass, and Chrome's going to dunk it in for 2. A very solid bit of focus, really, and almost maybe anticipation from Milo that they were going to win that joust. They almost seemed to be ready and played into that hand very nicely. Either way, offensive joust here for Ethereal. They're looking to try and put some points back on the board. Try and quickly chip away at this 2-goal lead. A good pass to the back of the zone and a nice pass to single shot. A little bit of juke work there. And they'll find 2 as well. I mean, that was a beautiful setup from Ethereal. I mean, were you really seeing very, very good pass work? And you can't overlook that skill. It is fundamental, but executed so well by these 2 teams here today. Really exciting to see. Any missed pass, too, you do see pretty quickly punished. Lalad, nice pass there. Nice give back. Opens it up for a double stun and then a goal. I mean, really nice job of drawing out that defense with that pass and the instant give back. Very well done, anticipating the stacks coming, disrupting that stack and opening it up for a 3v2. Great job there from the likes of Milo. They're up 2 now, and just 2. As this offensive rollout does work out nicely. Oh no, single shot was there and ready for what seemed to be an orchestrated quick play. And instead, they do not grab the disc when they think they had it. Maybe just out of reach. Ends up now with the disc floating around inside the zone. And let's see who can push through here. Nice pass back to Swag War and a good full clear down all the way to the zone of Ethereal. The stack is there for Milo, and they're looking to get some more points on the board. They're looking to push this lead up a bit more. Great cross pass to Whoosh, who's ready and waiting on the shield. It's passes like that that go underrated when you're watching a Master Tier game like this. Those are hard to execute under pressure, and a really nice job from Swag to connect with Whoosh there. Gets that 2, leads now a 2-goal lead, 6-2. And oh, what a huge intercept that could have been a huge moment, and another chance, well, finally goes in. I don't know how you slam dunk 3 points. A header? Well, we won't look into it. But slam dunk 3 points. And Milo pile on. Round 3, the series decider. They're looking great here as the offensive joust ends up going into the hands of JDG, who is there for what looked like a missed pass onto Na, but ultimately is Ethereal's seemingly planned strategy to try and draw out this Milo defense. As you see, Ethereal again back clear, and everyone pushing forward for their efforts. Trying to score a great dive, huge dive from Swag. Intercepts, clears all the way down. What stacks here first? It looks like Ethereal. Although, off the clear, a big intercept right into the hands of the opponent. That's going to mean Milo's going to continue to try and push, although under pressure, who's going to maintain dispossession? It's going to be Milo. There's a good steal, though, from Na, and cleared out down to the midfield. Ethereal desperate for points here. Have an opportunity for a 3. The shot dings off of the lower half of the goal. Does not go in. Bounces back into the hands of Milo. Back into the zone of Ethereal. And we fly back and forth. Another 3. That goes just a touch wide. Another 2. That goes just a touch wide. Ay caramba here. This Ethereal team cannot find a way to get that disc into the goal. They're doing their best. Passing sequences coming in, connecting there up to the top. Single shot finally puts it in, but a very labored 2 points from Ethereal. Under pressure, maybe that passing and shot taking being impacted, but we're into the back 5. Plenty of time to work with only a 5-point lead. Not somewhere, not exactly comfortable for Milo. Nice pass there to Chrome with a back pass to the Law. No additional forward pressure. Does allow for, obviously, Milo to properly set up their attack. Try and disrupt, pull out this defense. Maybe get a pass to the backboard for a dunk behind the goal. We'll have to see what this plan looks like. A Swag War fires one to Whoosh, and not exactly a dunk, but a 2-pointer nonetheless. Whoosh just waiting on the backboard there, that entire sequence. Eager to get a pass, and finally it connects. They find the 2 very quickly. No time for Ethereal to react. And round 3, certainly going the way of Milo for now. Again, 3:45 on the clock. Things could change in a heartbeat. A great follow-up from Na. Ends up grabbing disc before Whoosh does. And an open goal means 2 points for the likes of Ethereal. Leads back to 5, and still 2 goals. A lot of time also to work with, and so Milo cannot let up. They have to continue to apply the pressure they've been applying. A bit of a risky pass sequence there that doesn't go punished. Swag War is able to get up there and get it, but there's another missed pass. That doesn't go punished. Another missed pass. Finally, it does get scooped up and cleared down to the tunnel, albeit not all the way down into Milo's zone as the Law is able to scoop it up, and them and Chrome do work their way up past the stack into Ethereal's zone. A nice sequence down to Swag. Is Swag going to be able to follow up and push forward, though? They're under pressure. Everyone trying to find an opening on that goal as you see the 2v2 opportunity there, the brawling going on inside the goal, and the great pressure here from the stack to really force some of these missed passes that ultimately do not get picked up by Ethereal. Still, Milo maintains possession even under the pressure. Great perseverance, good passing sequences. Opens up for 2. Really nice resilience from Milo there under what was a relentless assault from the defense, really trying to disrupt the passing and get their hands on the disc. Patient as well, though, you know, no rushed pass up into the zone, really waited to see if they could get the opportunity they needed, and a bit of a technical hiccup ends up in the offensive joust, not exactly going the way Ethereal had maybe hoped, but they do get their hands on the disc and can reset. Oh no. Ooh, that was almost a self-goal. Off of that pass, they do slap it away for a moment, but under the pressure, they can't defend. Whoosh capitalizes, and we're into the final minute and a half. The lead up to 9. Not out of reach, but dang close. They don't start threading in some threes here. That's truly what they need. Some big goals to be sunk in that are not going to be easy to make. A nice dodge there. JDG does connect off of the sidebar. Anchored nicely for that shot. Albeit doesn't exactly fire it in at max speed. Still does find it in. Might not be exactly what they needed, though. Again, I think they just needed a string of threes as this clock continues to tick down. Well, uh-oh. This a 3? No, JDG doesn't take the shot. Instead, goes for the 2 and a massive save from the Law. Reaches to the sky and grabs themselves a disc. They'll prevent another 3 from going in. And as the time ticks down, Milo are looking to take this series. There's the headbutt. Intercept, but yeah, this is going to be round 3 going to Milo. Great saves coming in from the Law and a couple of others to finalize things up there for Milo, but ultimately not exactly necessary. Ethereal not able to find the points they need, and the series win off of an overtime W ends with Milo taking round 3. I don't think we got a whole lot of time. We should be diving right into our next match if they haven't already started without us, because frankly, they've had to wait for quite some time. So do please bear with us as we hopefully dive into our next match in a few moments. We're going to cut to a brief break, and when we come back, more Echo Arena. So don't go anywhere.
Go. VRware. Our passion is for the future.
Hey, chat.
Welcome, everybody, or welcome back to our second matchup of the afternoon. We are tuning in here for, oh gosh, off the top, Rewind versus Heatwave, a matchup that, again, was redeemed from the Redeem My Match option with the credits that you earn from watching the games. Obviously, also a high-tier matchup, a platinum matchup, so one that I'm looking forward to as well, and one that we should be diving into soon. These two teams have been waiting around for us, and so they should be engaging into our first round soon enough. Over on the Rewind side, we have Raver, Romo, Cosmic Idiot, and Ruby Doggo. And over on Heatwave, we have Isaac 10, Rack, Flobo, and Fire Red. And so it looks like the standard rosters for both sides here coming in to play. They obviously do have deep rosters where they can bring in those subs. So maybe we'll see something like that here this afternoon, but I don't necessarily anticipate that. We'll keep an eye out between rounds. Either way, I do have one ready. Just now waiting on the other squad, and we'll be getting into it. Thank you so much for tuning in and patiently waiting for the action to resume here this afternoon. I do appreciate you all for stopping by and enjoying what has been some great Echo Arena gameplay here this afternoon. A fantastic round 3 battle. And now, well, we'll see what we get between two top-tier teams duking it out here as we joust our way in to round number 1. And it floats the way into the hands of Isaac, who scoops it up, fires it down to the tunnel, can't quite clear it out. Rewind able to battle for dispossession inside the midfield, but Heatwave do scoop it up. Flobo clears it down, and it floats into Rewind zone. The stacks are there. Defense is ready. The offense is going to get their hands on the disc, though, and get the opportunity to set up for the attack. The first attack for the likes of Heatwave here this afternoon is a bit of a stun there. Disrupt coming in. A nice bounce pass off the ceiling. Maybe an opportunity for a cross pass from Fire, but they get stunned out by Cosmic, and no option for a pass, so instead, Ruby says, I'll take it myself. Walks their way all the way up to the goal uncontested. No dive from the goalie because I think they were anticipating that cross pass to come in, but it doesn't happen. I do also see we have a Cast My Match redeemed. That'll go into our database, and we'll do our best to get to that as soon as we can. No guarantees on it happening your next game or anything like that, but we will do our best to try and catch that game, so do appreciate that redemption. Rewind maybe with an opportunity to push forward here. As I say that, a good intercept and clear. Albeit Ruby ready to grab it. Can't quite pass their way up to their team, and the stack on defense is here. The shot on goal is wide, but very close, and eventually Romo is going to get their hands on it. Prevent this offense from trying anything else. It certainly was looking like that stack was on the hunt. And ultimately, they do get the disc down into Heatwave's zone, but not for a whole lot of time. Trapped inside the trap is Fire Red, as they do have a hearty amount of defense floating in above them, albeit now a good pass over to Rack does open up the chance for this attack. You can see everyone here inside the bubble, and a dive from Ravers, scoops it up, pushes it out of the bubble. Still, though, into the hands of Heatwave, and a nice pass there. Gets intercepted, a big intercept. That was going to be the cross pass and shot on goal that gets disrupted by the shield. As the disc floats to the midfield, Flobo is there, but they can't get their hands on the disc. They don't get unstunned soon enough. Without an opportunity to scoop it up, it does get cleared, and we reset the efforts. Kind of ping-ponging back and forth here. Ultimately going to take a couple of good passes from the likes of Rewind to put something together. They just haven't really found a good 1-2 connection yet here this afternoon, and it has been a lot of interceptions and a couple of missed passes that have ultimately led Heatwave to their 2 points, and well, only 2 points, as there's a nice bit of a pass work here. Down to the bottom of the zone, a big intercept again, though, from Fire Red or Flobo, one of the Fs, as they scoop it up and clear it down range. Again, though, we ping-pong, and a shot on goal is open, but goes just a touch wide. Dings on the inside corner and ends up floating over to the shield, still inside the zone of Heatwave, but chaos. And in the pursuit for this disc, at least for the likes of Rewind, just not able to get their hands on it. Probably coming up on 3 minutes time now of scoreless gameplay, as these two vie for possession, vie for the opportunity to push, and we're seeing Heatwave again with a setup for the attack. This time they do find success. Good stun work, and ultimately an open goal ends with Fire Red finding 2. And that lead now extends to 2 points. See the hydrate coming in from Shiny Bacon Bird. Appreciate you. Do you hear the water? Do you hear the swishing? I'm staying very hydrated over here. Hopefully these players are as well, as they pass down to the bottom of the zone, and Heatwave maybe getting a little hot themselves. They might have to cool down with a little bit of water. As they back pass to Flobo, take their time on the push forward, and oh, that's a great pass there. Right into the hands of Rack, who finds the dunk into the corner. Lead is still technically 2 goals, but now it's 2 threes. 5 minutes time has passed, and only 3 goals have been scored. See if Rewind can put up the 4th on their offensive joust. But round 1 certainly looking good for Heatwave. Nice scoop up there by the likes of Rack. Passes it back to Fire Red. Taking their time again, especially since they have a 6-point lead. If anything, they can force the Rewind defense to come to the disc, to push out of the safety of their zone. And well, Romo, interestingly enough, distracted by their player-on-player defense, ends up letting the disc casually float right underneath them. A very interesting effort there that ultimately does end in a nice pass cross for the goal. Rewind just having a tough time. Having a very hard time getting themselves up through the midfield and into a position where they can start to attack and get ready for that attack. It really has been just a constant attack, a relentless pursuit for points by Heatwave, as now they're looking for potentially, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't say Mercy Road just yet, but pushing for that 10-point lead. 10 points halfway there. We'll see if they can do it off of the shield. Good work from Flair. Ultimately, it bounces off of the head of Ruby Dago to go in for 2. And now they are at that 10-point mark. 3 minutes left for them to get 10 more, and they can mercy this round. I'm not exactly sure that's what Heatwave will be able to do. I'm sure Rewind are going to want to shut the momentum down at any stage here in this round. They really need to get something going on the board It's going to be tough as they do sort of have the permanent goalie. Flobo's ready and waiting on defense. No open 3 opportunities being presented. Wisely so, as they are up 10-0. No need for any additional aggression, really. And honestly, we're seeing some pretty good work done by the trio and duo that have managed to push up here and are the ones that are sort of attacking. As we now see here, the full trio there. Flobo's not able to scoop it up on the backfield. It does get cleared all the way down to them, but no one's able to get there in time to scoop it up except for Flobo. And that means that the disc stays in Heatwave's possession. 2 minutes left for maybe a point to come through, but at this point, I think it's mathematically out of time. Or no, 2 minutes. Sorry, we're not to a minute. I thought we were at a minute. 2 minutes, they could still do it. But they really do need to start doing it. Connecting with their passes and putting up some points. Right now, they're just not finding the passing sequences that they need to get up through this defense. Heatwave are really playing a solid bit of game here. Continuing to apply aggression. Not letting up and ultimately putting on some a good couple of passes that end in goals. I mean, that was a really great cross there. A nice slap from Rack to put it in before they can get disrupted. And well, a good solid battle between the two, but it's really just been Rewind not able to get their offense going. Heatwave continued to apply the pressure. And whether either Rack was trying to give Isaac some points for the scoreboard, I don't know, as Rack had the opportunity to push there. In a bit of a panic back clear, they do get it back to Ruby Dago, who does push it down to the midfield, but there is Fire Red ready to disrupt. The trio pushes into the bubble, make it all 4. And yeah, it looks like Fire is just going to take the clock down. No more time to come back from this 12-0 lead. They will put up 14 points, so 14-0. But this is a tough pill to swallow if you are the likes of Rewind. The question you got to ask going into our next round is, what kind of Rewind do we see? You know, like that first round, maybe they just weren't loose. You know, their passes on their offensive rollouts weren't necessarily connecting once they got past the initial 2 or 3. And they couldn't really get anything set up inside the bubble. We didn't really see maybe more than 1 or 2 attacks inside the bubble from the team of Rewind. And so if you're a connoisseur or a voter and you're going to be putting down points on these games and on this round, I don't know that round 2 will be the same as round 1. You know, I think we do it based on a game basis, not on a round basis. So if you've locked in to Heatwave, then you're probably feeling pretty good right now. But I'm curious to see what we get from Rewind. We actually did get a sub, so something that I haven't seen in the middle of a match terribly often, if ever, in Echo Arena. But it has happened here. Xpay has come in for Cosmic. Oh, we also had a sub come in from Heatwave's side. Who came in there? Nero. No. Isaac, maybe? Anyway, round 2 begins, and let's see if the roster changes are enough to get Rewind back into this. Already, they do manage to get the disc down into the space of Heatwave, but nobody is here on offense for Rewind. It's instead all 4 against 1, and they do get the full clear. And Rewind, who were working their way over to the zone of Heatwave, are now slowly working their way back to defend. They do get the disc. Fire Red disrupting the stack on the back from pushing forward and enforcing this team. But now Rewind finding themselves in a tough spot. Heatwave with a lot of momentum. 14-0 in round one, scoring points all the way down to the final seconds. All they have to do is replicate. A nice 2-0 lead to kick things off for them, and man, Heatwave are on track for another big W. I am seeing that maybe there's even a sub being used by Heatwave. Regardless, they're playing very good here this afternoon. Pass work is on point. Doing a good job of playing it patient as well, really waiting for their opportunities to present themselves. And it's a great pass from Flobo up to the top of the zone to Fire. The trio working their way inside the bubble, and a great pass sequence there that ultimately doesn't get dunked in. Dinged at the top of the bubble, but cleared back to Flobo, and another opportunity here for Heatwave to pile on points. Still scoreless for Rewind. They have not gotten on the board yet. Even in round two, Heatwave looking good as Flobo, all the way from the midfield, walks that one in. And one difference we're really seeing here in defensive style from the likes of Rewind is we're not necessarily seeing that aggressive double stack threat that you do see in the middle of the zones that have been coming in from the master teams. You know, maybe it's more common strat at the higher level, but that double stack on defense really did provide a nice layer of aggression for those on defense, but just feels like Rewind are missing that aggression, and so trying to wonder what could be done here to get them back in this, as almost an opportunity there presenting itself for the likes of Heatwave as they're looking to pile on their lead, continue to keep Rewind scoreless here. Rack does get their hands on the disc, but not before Rayvar can stun out and scoop it up. A great grab from Rack, though, as they grab it out of the hands of Rayvar, passing it over to Isaac, back to Rack. These two trying to work their way through the entire defense of Rewind, and they can't do it. Finally, a nice steal. Ruby connects, grabs that one, and pushes it out to the midfield. But Fire Red and Flobo do quickly push out to grab it. Not going to be enough, although Flobo leeches very nicely off that double stack, disrupts it, and ultimately prevents them from dribbling their way forward. Bounce pass there. Ruby able to scoop it up and keep Rewind on the aggression. A nice pass to Romo, but they can't get rid of it in time. The duo, the pressure coming through and pushes them off of their efforts. And oh no, Fire Red. What happened there? The stack overshot Fire, went into the tunnel, and Fire grabs the disc and scores. 6-0, we're into a timeout. Rewind need to adjust something here. They need to rewind, really. That's what they need to do. I'm sure they wish they could live up to their name and go back around at this point. I am drinking water, Shiny. Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me slurping it up on stream, but we're staying hydrated here. We're keeping it fresh for the action. We'll see if Rewind can put something together here. Interesting to see them playing even here so cautiously with Ruby sitting in the back. Almost like they were trying to draw out that stack. They couldn't quite do it, and instead they go for a much longer pass sequence that doesn't connect. Floats down into the midfield of Heatwave, and Raver does ultimately get their hands on the disc. Rewind with an opportunity at getting up to the zone of Heatwave. Actually, I don't even know when the last time they got up to the bubble of Heatwave was. But a two-pointer. Oh, Flobo showing mercy to their opponent at that stage. Had the opportunity for a 3, instead makes it a 2. How cold is my water? Very lukewarm, actually, matter of fact, because I was making tea. And I didn't let the water cool down enough for just regular water, so it's kind of warm. Just like Fire Red. They're on fire, they're red. Can't be much warmer than that. Locking in open threes, pushing the lead 11-0. On track for a mercy at this stage. As Heatwave, with a dominating performance this afternoon, continue to apply the pressure, continue to force mispasses, and what can Rewind do on their rollout here today? Can they get through this defense that continues to threaten them? No, they can't. They can't get the pass up to Romo. Rack is there to intercept. The double stack's there to scoop it up, dribbling their way forward past the defense. A 1v1 for Isaac. Do they take it? They do, and a great steal from Ruby, the second one they've had this afternoon. Nice job in the goal to prevent this from getting, well, out of hand, although at this point 11-0 certainly is not ideal. The attack continues as well as the possession stays in the hands of Heatwave, and ultimately 2 points. Getting locked in. 13-0 now. Again, 7 points from a mercy. Rewind may go scoreless this afternoon. In a worst-case scenario, they may find themselves unable to put a single point up against Heatwave here. Well, they came close at the start of round one. It's really been since then. They just haven't had good, consistent passing sequences. They get through the midfield, but then matter of connecting inside the zone of Heatwave, that seems to be the problem. And Heatwave continue to apply pressure non-stop, always inside the zone of Rewind, constantly putting them on the defense. And finally, Fire works their way through what is maybe the longer, one of the longer moments between goals. But 5 points from a mercy now. They continue to chip away. Round one, handily 14-0 to the likes of Heatwave. And I wonder what number match this is for Rewind, because this could be sort of one of their first challenges, if you will, in terms of a higher rated team. But at this rate, all these teams are experienced with being challenged. So I think we're just seeing Heatwave play a very good game. Connecting with their passes, playing aggressive defense. We're seeing good stack work from them as well. And I mean, shots like that. Really nice shots like that are putting them up into a now 18-0 lead. Yeah. Chat predicting we're en route for a mercy. Certainly looking like it. At this stage, though, Rewind really do, I would imagine, want to put at least 1 point on the board. Don't want to go scoreless this afternoon, and unfortunately, whether they want to or not, they're going scoreless this afternoon. 20-0 in round number 2. Heatwave with no other way to put it, dominant performance. 34 unanswered points in 2 rounds' time. What more is there really to say about that win? Congratulations to all those who predicted that this would be a victory for the likes of Heatwave, but yeah, solid performance from them. Again, not a whole lot else to say about it. That is going to be our last game of the afternoon, though. That's 3 in the books. If you missed them, go back, check the VODs. We've had Overkill versus Redshift, Milo versus Ethereal, and now just ending up here, Rewind versus Heatwave. And so that's what's been out there this afternoon. If you do want to catch that, go check out the VODs. Appreciate everybody for stopping by and hanging out. Appreciate you all for tuning in and sticking around for the Mercy. You'll get your points that you gambled on, and hopefully you'll get enough to redeem your match and get a cast, just like we saw here with Heatwave, where they get to be on stream putting on a show. Doesn't get much better than that. But that's going to be it for us here this afternoon. Like I said, my name's Ben at NightFiree with 2 E's. My cameraman and producer, Wonder T-Man. Big shout out to them. And a shout out to all the mods who put in the time and effort to help run the Echo Arena VRML. My name's Ben NightFiree. Until next time, stay classy.
VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, Border Foods, VR Cover, ProTube VR, Rebuff Reality, and VRware.net.